Tá ná dúr mar cleachtas airce líon im scrúda agus go minic comhíbriach. Fis riam smuointe le a bhanan leis an stáid déine agus an néal a háit. Déine mé seo go mór bhór tríd lúnsaí an camera. Glacham Greengraph ó briam agus aham briam an tábhar in san studio agus fis riam an dó is fearr chun an Sarah a haspáint. I tend to explore ideas and through various materials. So, say for example, the corrugated iron here. It's a roofing material, but it's also a material that would be connected to my visual language growing up in Dublin with barricades and things boarded up. But also these type of materials take on a different resonance, take on different meaning when you start moving it from place to place. So this work is all often is unseen stuff, and what's happening here is that we're changing the gallery space into a studio space. So this is the kind of stuff that gets done away from the viewer, away from the theatre, let's say, of the art world. Most of this stuff gets done in private. So what's happening here on a gallery, what Oon is doing is really interesting. So she's making the public space into a private space and a private space into a public space.
Here's a gallery in Nidor. Ta PC dam studio. Hagwa maha sanis befinne. Chomar suasar a wall and shoyed. We are our man yugo na mashta agus ma couple away. Smaile ma got the fartra la pan loye agus sa granan ro ma dehestahan roy wana ha shama khor dehestahan parter kosol sich han sho araya han rod Nelson T but ta deh dolu dehani dolu kon shashtaharam especially la pental pisa da mod pental hag ma asanish befinne. Goed is model aan bij mijn pental te mooi plein air weet hoe je een heel merle. Als je has je mijn pental je neemt me rohai je colored wheels zit er niet met haar. Zo van je kanaal just verklaart laat de. Dat gaat ook al rijden de pental. Kijk de Walter de Vesco. Kijk de Walter composition you know. Agus tá seo lig danta na hító mui. Tá na gúg san jarán agus míltagi agus ahan rud a chuiriste hart so tá mór di Ghailearaí agus tá níríana sáilsiú ba níl sí sáilsiú tá an rud a gara ahan bhmute agus caiite bheith gasta agus lachseach mhór cleachtú. Carúí ótú carúí haneón. Tá du lugo man chus tá seach cinál you've to adrenaline rush ma has carúir. It's a couple of mark at yes. It was Ghaeltacht is the mesh.
Okay, so here I am in cardboard land. It's a great opportunity to be able to just work with an idea in an empty space. I'm allowing the cardboard to dictate what it's doing to a certain extent, although there's an idea of something breaking up out of the wall. I'm using cardboard because I found cardboard. Our framer, he frames the work of loads of artists in Letterkenny, Shamie Quinn, who is an obsessive collector, but I'm very taken with the simplicity of what cardboard does all by itself from working in here. That's one of the nice things about just playing around without really knowing what you're doing and allowing the materials to suggest things. So what I seem to have here is a breaking cardboard glacier. And that is the influence of Shamey's cardboard store, because you always feel like it's going to fall on your head when you're going in. It's stacked all the way up to the ceiling and very precarious.
Orinthe bíonn me gobar le green graphing on a photo differúil. So bhíos a gobar leis on the idea of measurements agus mar bhíos obair leis na spás idir na daoine inis mar tá míad i COVID-19. So seo é 2 meters, this is 2 meters. But actually, nuair a bhíos a gobar leis, chunig mé fictúr eile agus stig sa fictúr tá bata no stick ann leis. There's a little bit of humor kind of going on between this notion of this tá an balance so tá sé trid na shroide. This is in Argentina, and it also reminded me of another photo, a Magnum photographer, and nuair bhí sé sa dairy tóg sé anna cuid green graphana. Tá na fictúr diffriúil, but ach tá an bata nó tá an stick is jig na gá fictúr. Tarrant mé air on fictúr, just that they're as if they're carrying this kind of 2 meters stick that we're all kind of familiar with now.
Fada mwy. A fy'n my lad og, chi'n ei mwy her liwr dwi'n. Agus, tys na ma cwpl o pys ar oen ma. Si efrws môr i un yma o'r bym a god a sio. Si efrw, nyr tan amser ffwyr, agus, hadi gat fe mwy to mwy. Hadi gat pental a be yna. So bym a... Yd maas liwr hi smw, yw ma anrod. Os ydyn nhw hos yma, un o'n bohog. Na couple of bliana han, roedd ma'n bohog sio, bohog o fe yma ar hei. So modular origami tan there, it's a piece of wen. Agus, so the origami dollar dan ta mahas carnag, pepper, sio flyer, shan flyer is an RCC. Agus, fodla ta la hilaid. Agus, higla ti iad a horstia la hila. Agus there's more, planket more. So modular origami tiny matrician. Agus roin ma bohog tiny ma hog mar seo. At higl mi hespan da be o me geri. Tashi kosla planket more na. Carwin nil sgu ditin le hanam ner to go per studio. A bit the gober lat. Ta jasa dinu seo higlat. Higlat o'n achaliw. Smaen am hynny. Si, bohog. Tan bohog. Ni'r bohog i olar an smó. Dwi'n dagoni yn tichynys. Agus. At nes ta ni smó borw ar an, really. So, smaen am hynny yn origami fan ysyn. Higlat diamod un o da trobladi agus. Dwi'n achaliw. Agoi. Agus, níl seo dyle dhéanú, hach le daine bhí seo haine. Más liúr for me dearmad inis. Mindful na seo origami tan mes na bhí hai.
There are incidentals that I really like. Like today I decided that I would make a waterline out of blue tape. I wanted to make this imaginary waterline, which is something I had as an idea before I started this project, because it's a very nice way of connecting lots of disparate things. This is another wonderful example of Shamey's acquisitiveness. These are his lunch containers, and he's kept them all. I don't know, I asked him how many lunches this represented or how long it represented, but it's over a year's worth anyway. This is the first thing I did, was to just put these together. I configured them as a work of their own to start with, but now I think I'm going to use them to look like a tumult of, disturbed water. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to try it soon. I want to suggest that things are actually falling off this into this imaginary water level. This particular piece you can sit on, because there were all these cardboard tubes which Shamie also had, and I didn't know what I was doing with them. In the end I just stuck them all together and covered them. So this is very strong and heavy, this one, and you can sit on it among the others, which is quite nice. It's quite nice to be in the middle of an installation.
The kind of things I'm working with at the moment are this notion of, it's in Oscuelga, it's in Shan, it's a really old word in Irish called tuha, and tuha has to do with Nadini, to do with the people, but it also has to do with on Tallav, as in the area of where you're relating to. So, and I'm also dealing with this, also looking at this word in vivo, which is Latin, which means to inhabit a living body. So it's a scientific term. In other words, that the organism is living within this contained body. So again, it's more relates to the body, and this more relates to more relates to the people as a collective, which is something that's constantly struggling within the work that I do. I'm very interested in the relationships between things, the metaphysics between people, between the physical form, the outside world, the object, the representation of the object, how we deal with an object.
The lovely thing about this is that there's nothing else here of mine. I have a big studio, but it's full of my things, and this space is just empty, and I'm just putting this here, and it's very liberating, and it's wonderful to have An Gailearaí just down the road from where I live to do this in. Yeah, it's great. I've really enjoyed, and will continue till I finish doing this project.
Pís a lehan sin fáiste, bu me sketchal. Muito mwy ar eist, agus tan na línti seo gur fríd a dála. Tá seo marú anga. Tá cinál couple of písa go run mar a bheith. Rud céanan si sé an seo. Seo pepper. Gyda pepper. Agus froldate. Agus tá seo marú anga. Tá gyn anga sta. Iesgar ar ilma aher. Har dam sio ma'n iesgar at i iaw. Bwym aher gysgracht, fan yw sli behe, agos bw angau crort agos i efrw, ffrid y tia, agos fys fe dol o gong ffrid na angau, agos fa dama dan angau, but angau cos la, nil angau bi o gom sionis, but gym ew hyd loela. Gysyt, ers o gom thron hef angau. Na, di glwm o chor yn ffocli yn y syrw am o ti. But yeah, I'm not